So, good morning, guys. Good Monday morning. I think we woke up today to bloodbath. We got nuked in our sleep. So, basically, yesterday or last week, towards the end of last week, I was kind of expecting price to hold this area. this area. Right. This 116, 117K area. Although we had that small move up yesterday, but the way they say it, Sunday pump is always most likely always a scam pump. So during the night, we had the move down, which knocked all of our expectations around here. So going forward, areas I'm looking up to see price hold. So this is daily time frame, and if we go back in time in this area, you see basically price was consolidating. We had this consolidation, right? Let me turn off this. So we had this consolidation before we had this leg up. So similar thing is what's happening here. So similar scenario is kind of what is playing out here. Because if you look at it, it's more like we've been ranging here, right? Right. So basically ranging. It's more like we're trying to form another range here, right? So it doesn't look too bad, right? Unless you are neck deep in horts and your risk is blown out of proportion. But aside from that, it doesn't look so bad. So because we still just continue doing and keep bouncing from support to resistance, from resistance to support. So to keep it simple, areas I'm looking forward to for a long, since we already had a dump, I don't think this area is a good area to short because we've had majority of the down move already and we are close to the bottom of the range. So and then we have this other block here, right? So most likely, or there's a possibility of price holding here, right? And maybe having a bounce up from here, right? So if that happens, I think areas that I'll look for targets. If we can have a bounce from this 115K area, because basically the other block area is from around 115K to mid 112Ks. So if we can have that bounce from here, I think we trade towards 117K for the first target. Then if we flip that, this is we flip above 117K. So basically this first, something like this. So first target 117K. Let me delete this. So first target 117K. We flip that and we can target the top of the range, which is at 122K rather. Right. So bounce from here, we target 117K first. And we flip that and we can target the top of the range, which is at 122K. Just pardon my rubbish drawings. Let me delete that. I'm trying to just give like a sketch on how it will be, but that's kind of a pretty rough sketch. So basically, bounce from here, target 117Ks or mid 117Ks. Then we can have a daily close above 118,600 area. Then I think we are bound for the top of the range, right? So that's that. Another reason why this place has to hold is if we lose here, I think it's going to be very bad because if we lose here, the next area that my price most likely comes into would be this top of the range that we broke out from previously. Remember I said this was a range. This area was a range. So basically this is the top of the range before we broke out. So if we lose this current order block area, then I think we trade towards the top of the range, and I think possibly take out this order block here. This order block here. Right. So it's important we hold here, and we'll see how that plays out towards the week. So it's Monday, price might be kind of slow, but we'll see what we get to work with. I'll give updates on that later. Right. So I think this we also have an H4 order block here that we can work with. Where's my box? You motherfucker. So we also have inside of that daily order block, we also have this H4 order block. So I think it's worthy to give it a shot here. Get the fuck off, bro. So it's worthy to give it a long shot here. It's not totally a bad idea, right? And see, we should be like a 2-hour trade towards the first. So this is not a bad long either, right? Because we have this H1 order block inside of our daily order block. And this order block hasn't even been tapped before, right? So it's a fresh order block. So probably we can see a bounce here. It's not totally a bad long idea. So I think I'll give this one a shot. So we can see a bounce here, right, towards this first target, which I mentioned previously at 117k, and that was like a 2-hour trade. So let's see how that plays out. So let me quickly look at it. Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Let me delete all of my drawings here. Alright, so we'll have a clean slate to work with. So for Ethereum, basically Ethereum is like the stronger pair to beat now because of the 8-bit charts. So basically the strength is more in favor of Ethereum. So if we have that bounce on BTC, Ethereum most likely bounces out. That's what it means because it has more strength than BTC. So I think the same. We had the daily order block area on Ethereum, but on BTC rather. So for Ethereum, we have this H12. H12 basically is half a day. So I have this H12 order block here. So if Bitcoin can bounce from the area we mapped out shortly, not before, you should definitely see Ethereum bounce from here. So this is not a bad area too for Ethereum to bounce. So that's for a shallow pullback. But if we have that deeper pullback, which I mentioned on BTC to our previous top of the range at 110k, then we can most likely expect Ethereum to come towards here. This is our weekly order block. Right, so most likely if we lose the area on BTC and trade towards 110, then we should see it trading towards 3,900 for 3 area, which is in line with the weekly order block. But for now, since we're optimistic that BTC holds our current daily order block, I think we should see Ethereum hold here and possibly trade towards these highs at 4,780 and possibly take out 5Ks. I still think Ethereum should breaks out here and take out 5,000 area, creates a new high. Let me see. Tap on the bars. Okay, we still have this untapped high here. So I still think overall, Ethereum still comes and takes out this high, this previous all-time high at 4,878 and possibly a new all-time high at 5,000, 5K area. So see how that pans out. Let me look at it at a smaller time frame for Ethereum. So if I was to take the same setup I took on BTC, that is the long on BTC, I would also want to long this too. This is also a good long here, right? So invalidation on this trade would be below 4,143 or 140 area, right? Then my target would possibly, first target would be here at, excuse me, here at 4,400 area, right? I think that is a little bit less than 2 hour. But since it's Ethereum and it has more strength, I think it could possibly blow past that. So this is a good trade setup. Influence to the setup we had on BTC. So BTC holds there, then Ethereum also holds here. So I think that's all for BTC. I will only focus on BTC and Ethereum for now. So let me just do a recap. So BTC daily order block, we hold this daily order block right from at 112k area or 115k rather 115k area. Then the validation on it is around 112 mid 112k area. So we have this H4 setup. It is our H4 order block inside of our daily order block. So it's a good setup to take. And the validation on the trade idea would be at 114k, right? So first target 117k, and if you can have a daily close above 118k, then you can possibly target the highs again at 122, 123k. So the same applies for Ethereum. If we can hold that area on BTC, then we should most likely see Ethereum holding here. So this is a good long. And validation on this will be around 4,143. Then first target 4,450. Then over possibly take out 4,800 areas and maybe we see a new high. So I think that's that, and we see how all of this pans out and plays out towards going towards a new week. All right, so that'll be all for now.